Radio Free Skaro!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 881. I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren for not much longer in Toronto.
Chris in Edmonton.
Yeah, I love how, we are sticklers for, where we are at this exact moment during recording. You'll be back in Vancouver by the time this comes out, Warren.
I will, yes.
Yeah. Recording
in
this.
In that case, Warren, you should give your exact address in Toronto.
Yeah, it's pointless now. The Airbnb that you've been staying at for the last 2 weeks now.
Well, how about this?
It's
in the annex. There you go.
In the annex. Ooh, mysterious and sexy. I have no idea. I'm just we're a little bit punchier tonight. It's Friday night. This is how three middle-aged white guys spend their Friday nights now as they record a podcast on Doctor Who nonsense. So welcome to the show. If this is the podcast that you've been looking for, you found it, folks. After a couple weeks off, we're back to our commentaries. Earthshock Part 3 is on today's episode. No spoilers for anything that happened in it, or indeed anything that we said, because we recorded this back in July. That's 2 British prime ministers ago that we recorded this podcast.
At least.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe by the time this comes out on Sunday, maybe there will be a new one. Actually, I find that things have sort of settled down into a general malaise now in the UK, and
the real storm is Kanye related. So he'll have done something by Sunday that he hasn't done by Friday.
I don't care about him.
No, I don't either. But he will do something bad, I'm sure.
Yeah, 99 problems, but a Kanye ain't one.
No.
Yes, I know that's not his song.
I don't even know what their song. I only listen. You know me in music. It's
Well, let me just put it this way. One of his songs came up at the restaurant I was eating at tonight, and they instantly went over and said, "Oh no," and turned it off.
Nice.
That's good. So, Stephen, you're probably sad over the whole Fleetwood Mac person, right?
Christine McVie, yeah. Although what's sad is that she's 79 years old. It's our rock and roll heroes and icons, at least the ones from the 1970s. Are in their 80s now, and that's the real sad. It's oh no, would she die of drugs, cocaine? No, she was 79. That's how.
Which, as a member of Fleetwood Mac, I'm surprised she got that far, frankly, because those guys took every drug in existence.
Man, the making of Tusk, I bet you, was probably just one cocaine fueled mayhem.
But, and you're not talking the Kevin Smith movie, are you?
I don't know what that is, Chris. So no, okay. I'm talking about the disastrous follow-up to Rumors from 1977.
Well, how the hell are you going to top Rumors? Which I was trying to explain this to my parents because they didn't care about the music at the time.
Right.
As a kid, I just remember seeing the album cover, and it looked vaguely medieval, so I thought it was fantasy themed, and of course it wasn't. But for years, I was convinced that Fleetwood Mac was like what Men Without Hats tried to be, medievally themed.
Yeah, Men Without Hats was more synth pop Jethro Tull. That's kind of what they were.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I just based on the album cover, because I hadn't really I'd heard the songs on the radio, but I never really tied the two together as a kid. So it was just this massively popular thing, and I'd see the picture and go, "Well, what are they, knights in shining armor? What is this crap? What's this got to do with, I don't know, Battlestar Galactica or whatever I was obsessed with?"
and to be fair, still am.
Well, yes,
still are obsessed,
but a different Battlestar Galactica. And Lucifer in the original Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah. Hey, I hope you cats have been enjoying the Fluid Links Advent calendar. It started on December 1st. The 4th one will be dropping as this episode drops a couple hours before that. So those are fun. They're out there in the wild now every day on YouTube, on the audio feed, on our website, ReadyFreeScar.com. They're all there as I slowly plow through them as we record this. Day 10 was just public, or scheduled, I should say. So, well, I know in past years, back when we did the Lego Telesnap versions, I think I literally finished the 24th one on the 23rd. It was that tight.
They're way more work than they look like they should be.
Yeah, you know what? And I thought this year was well, we're just doing the Zoom call with our video and stuff like that. But no, I have to put little things and stuff there, and so now it takes forever. And but it's just it's fun to do, but it's time consuming to do. But it's fun to do, but it takes time. But,
it's all new to me, right? And to Chris, because we don't see that until you've put that. We know what we're going to say, obviously. But So when today is not to spoil it, but I guess it won't be a spoiler by Sunday. Where you refer to Gallifrey, and then you had a shot of Timothy Dalton spitting. I almost did a spit take myself. Actually, it was quite nice.
Well, I basically you two are my own my focus group in my head. Like I'm thinking, oh, Warren will laugh at this one. Oh, Chris will laugh at this one, and that's it. So we're basically just making these podcasts for ourselves. But
well, yeah. What else is new?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, on the YouTube channel, I think there's even a playlist. I think there's even a playlist of all of them on our YouTube channel where you can click all of them. I know that sometimes our audio versions go there, and I'm basically trying to swat them down so you don't get confused. I've failed for the first 2 days. Also, if you want to go back and watch the Lego ones from 2018 and 2019 that I slaved over, there are playlists for those too on our YouTube page. So yeah, youtube.com/Radio Free Skaro as this podcast pivots to video for 2023. We don't.
Dear God.
We're just on video a little bit more, but anyway, hey, let's before the clock strikes midnight in Toronto for Warren, let's press on. Is there any other discussion that I wanted to mention about Doctor Who? For some reason it came up because Warren was watching the Roku channel. There's a Doctor Who channel.
I am right now, in fact.
Yeah, you're watching it, and it's the Sontaran experiment. No, it's Revenge of the Cybermen now for you.
It's now Revenge of the Cybermen, yes. It
was
As of
this moment.
Yep.
And then on the Samsung Plus Doctor Who channel, the little TV Plus thing, it's Terror of the Zygons. And then on the Plex free Doctor Who channel, it's the Android Invasion. I don't know why there's so many discrepancies between the same.
Well, let's say you have all three devices in your house. You could have three different TVs going 3 different classic Who's at once. It'd be great.
Jeez, Warren, don't tempt me.
Exactly.
Come on. Why?
You're seconds away from the Amazon button ordering a Roku and what's the other one? Samsung. You've already got a Samsung. You've already got an Apple
Samsung,
TV.
Apple
So
TV.
you just need, and I say need in italics, a Roku.
Well, the Roku channels you can get in the US, so you can get that through a VPN. Because that's how to watch the Weird Al movie.
Oh, that's right, because it's on Roku only or something, wasn't it, or some nonsense like that?
Well, I mean, I might have used a VPN in another method to get the Weird Al movie.
Right, yeah. There's also like Pluto TV in the US.
Right, yes.
As well. I don't think there is a Doctor Who channel on the Canadian Pluto TV as I try and type into Pluto TV Doctor Who and talk at the same time. And I can tell you this much, there is. And what's playing there? What's playing there? Maybe let's find out. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to find out right now what is playing. And it's Shada, which is fascinating because I am watching Shada literally tonight as we record this. I'm watching episode 6 of Shada. And there's episode 5 of Shada is being played on the classic. I didn't know they had Shada. On this. That's mad. They're playing the movie version of it. So.
And which one is this? Is this on Pluto TV?
It's on Pluto TV, which is now I might. This is fun. Enjoy. I hope you're enjoying this podcast, everyone. Because
as we go through apps,
just going through apps. It's for some reason it's followed by Legopolis, and after that, but I don't know why. But anyway, there's talk literally. What an age we live in, folks. We grew up. Listen. You had 2 PBS stations showing Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
I only had one, KSPS Spokane, and so I had to sort of wait until every week until it was on. And now there are 4 different channels on the internet that show Doctor Who around the clock.
Well, once upon a time, we had 4 broadcast channels. We had YTV, Space, and 2 PBSs.
That's true.
Well, I guess it is actually kind of more or less the same thing.
Yeah.
And they're all showing something radically different from everything else.
They were, yeah. YTV was my first time I ever saw black and white Doctor Who, and indeed, season 26 was starting to air on YTV before it aired on KSBS. So I saw Battlefield for the first time on as an episodic thing on YTV.
Just like YTV was my first time seeing season 3 of Red Dwarf because KSBS would just loop seasons 1 and 2.
right.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
But why TV always cut it for commercials? Cut it for time for commercials, and so you never saw the whole thing.
Weird. What times we live in, and now all completely immaterial because it's all on Disney Plus. Well, it's not all on Disney Plus, but Doctor Who is going to be on Disney Plus next. I don't know if you remember that. That was big, huge news, and this is actually a mildly slow news week for Doctor Who this week, which is interesting, given that it's December now and there's no real new anything. But we're here to fill you on whatever is happening this week, I suppose.
I'm just waiting for one of you two to start up a live stream of you going through these various apps and Doctor Who channels.
Non-stop commentary.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like on my TV, the thing I watch most often, like if I'm cooking or something, I just fire up Plex and I go to Plex TV and I watch whatever Doctor Who they're giving me. I'm just, it's there, whatever, who cares? It's better a podcast. I just don't bother anymore.
No. There's too much choice. We're paralyzed by choice in this streaming universe. We just turn on the thing and just show me what to watch and I will watch it.
As Devo predicted in Freedom of Choice, the album and indeed song.
Yeah. And that was like, what, 1979, 80, 81?
80, around 80, something like that.
Yeah. Prescient. Hey, Gallifrey 1, folks, is coming up in a little over 2 months' time. Can you believe that? I can't believe that.
77 days and 5 minutes.
As of this exact second, it'll be 75 days and however many minutes when this episode comes out. Mm-hmm. They've extended the discussion panel call for panel, if you want to be in a discussion panel on Gallifrey 1 for 1 week. December 10th now is the deadline for that, just to, get more people in. Maybe they've all got World Cup fever or something and missed the thing, or Thanksgiving happened, or Chicago TARDIS happened or something, and people weren't on the ball. Well, now you get an extra week to submit if you want to be on a panel or not. There's the whole list of panels there. There's like 80 of them. There's 80 of them there. There's like 50 of them. They're all numbered. Just go down to the bottom of the page. 40 of them. Yeah. 40 panels. It's a lot of panels. We will not be on them. No panels for us because, where are we, three middle-aged white guys doing a Doctor Who podcast for the past 16 and a half years? Where are we going to find our forum for our opinions? I ask you, where? Clogging up panels at a convention. Not going to be the thing, so... So I'm looking forward to that. Got the flights have been booked for a while. The hotel's been booked for a while. The tickets been purchased for a while. And Doctor Who Gallifrey 1. It seems kind of once again for like the 15th year running. It's like sneaking up on me again.
I still haven't got my flight because they've been so expensive when I check. So I will check again. I mean, I'm going to get there one way or the other, even if it is expensive. But
yeah,
I'm swim.
I can swim. I'm waiting for the inevitable email from like WestJet saying, "Yeah, we canceled our direct flights again, so you got to fly through Calgary or Denver or Seattle or Vancouver or something like that." Thinking, you bait and switch, so and so's
exactly.
Yeah. But as of right now, it's a direct flight. Listen, there's no direct flights from Edmonton to Minneapolis or Chicago anymore, which is why we didn't go to Chicago TARDIS. We were thinking about it, but the flights are just horrendous. So that Edmonton-LA one, just please give us that. And don't make us fly Flair Airlines, for crying out loud. Anything but Flair. It's a low. Like it's like Ryanair, except
No. Rouge is Air Canada's.
Oh, okay, so this is a different airline.
And Rouge is never like that. No, it was Flair and Swoop and Lynx.
Rouge kind of sucked, but this sounds like it's an even lower level of suck.
Yeah. It's like I think you have to pay extra for a window, like not a window seat, a window. Like otherwise you will fly out of the window. Yeah,
and then you have to pay extra for the window to be closed.
Yeah, the add-ons are ridiculous. But if you can stomach that, if you can hold on to your breath and like literally hold on to your seat without flying through the window on the flight, then you can get like a $35 ticket to Abbotsford or something like that. But I wouldn't recommend it.
This all sounds very silly.
Yeah, if you don't want a gremlin on the wing, it's an extra cost.
Yeah, because the gremlin already has that seat. Twilight Zone. What else we got here? Hey, the Doctor Who website posted a neat history of Doctor Who logos through the years, because as you know, there's a new Doctor Who logo. It's the Diamond logo again, a revamped version of it. And there's a whole history of all the Doctor Who logos dating back from the 1960s through the 70s and 80s and into today. with all the various title sequences, and it's neat. I like seeing things like that. And then, of course, it ends with the new 60th anniversary logo, which is a diamond logo, as a diamond motif. So if you're interested in the history of Doctor Who logos and opening title sequences, links in the show notes at radiofreescaro.com.
You better be.
Yeah. It's been a busy week. I bought this and have not looked at it, and I want to look at it. The Doctor Who Magazine Special 2023 Yearbook, which has a whole host of various different interviews and stuff. I think they're mostly just stuff that interviews that with the cast of the most recent series of Doctor Who that didn't fit into the main magazine. But that's neither here nor there. It's still new to you content, and there's a whole host of stuff in there. But I have not read it. I feel bad. It did only come out yesterday, to be fair, as we record this. So, give me some slack. But. Links in the
I like this
notes.
argument you're having with yourself.
A little bit. It's
I like how there's a 13th Doctor episode guide, so that'll take up like half a page.
Half a page is sticking out. Here's your 31 episodes. Actually, speaking of 31 episodes, here I'll say this right now because this is something I'm planning to do. Because as we record this podcast every week, and we just sort of watch a new episode, and then we just sort of forget about it until the next one comes along. I'm looking forward to watching the Jodie Whittaker era again, and I'm going to do it in addition to my current pilgrimage that's going on right now, one episode a day through until
Memory Cheese
November
coming back.
23. Memory Cheese is probably going to come back in 2023. I'm going to do 31 days of Jodie in January, one episode a day, one Jodie Whittaker episode a day, all of January. Anybody with me? Join in. New Year's Day through until January 31st. It's depressingly enough days in 1 month to cover an entire era of Doctor Who, and that's what I'm going to do. Watching those.
So for November, we've got like Movember and NaNoWriMo and whatever. Do you have a special name for this?
It's
Are you going to call it like January or something?
No, that's a silly name.
It is a silly name.
I sort of like. I know some people sort of said, "Why do you call all the the male doctors by their last name and Jodie Whittaker by their first name?" I know it is kind of silly. I like her name, Jodie.
It's kind of catchy.
I know it is catchy, and also there's already a 31 days of Whittaker, and it's where I just watch all of David Whittaker episodes in 1 month, and that happens in July of every year. So I can't have 2 months of Whittaker. So it's 31
That would
days
just
of
get
Jodie.
confusing.
That would just get very confusing. So 31 Days of Jodie is happening in January. And of course, it's building up to her appearance at Gallifrey 1, the aforementioned Gallifrey 1. So yeah, we're doing that. If anyone wants to join along, go for it. There's no live tweeting. There's no anything. I just going to watch the episodes and then get on with my life, and it's going to be great.
Is this the nominal £50 entry fee?
Why? Yes, please send £50 to me. I think, what is this £50 for? Just thanks for the £50. Enjoy watching Doctor Who.
Gotta go.
Yeah. I don't know what else I can give you. I have a duplicate copy of The Web of Fear on DVD because 2 arrived at one time, and so I can give you that. But
actually, I've got 2 copies of that as well.
There you are. So send £50 and maybe we'll give you a non-UK version of The Web of Fear that you already have. What a contest. We are here looking after you, the listeners, during this holiday season. Let's rip off some big finished stuff, some audio stuff, I should say, in general. The Eve of the Daleks soundtrack is out now. That one came out on Friday, December 2nd. The Legend of the Sea Devils is coming out on the 9th, and then Power of the Dock on the 16th. So thank you for putting that in the news list, because otherwise I would have forgotten. So I bought it. I bought Eve of the Daleks on iTunes.
I'm gonna wait for the hopefully there's a bundle of all 3 for some sort of a price break. But
is there usually, though? I don't know. That might be wishful thinking.
No, because we haven't had this before.
Guess not. No,
because we haven't had like a run of specials since 2009. So
yeah, I suppose in a way. Although day and time of the Doctor sort of were kind of bundled together on the soundtrack, as I recall too. Now that I think about it,
I think that is correct. Yes.
Yeah, and they chopped on Eve of the Daleks with Legend of the Sea Devils and nothing else on DVD too, which is kind of strange. Wish they would have waited 6 more months, but that's fine. It's fine. So anyway, that's out there on iTunes now. The physical release, of course, is all coming out as a bundle, but not a digital bundle on January 13th, as I recall, in next year, 2023.
Yeah, the CD physical version, whatever. Yeah.
What else we got here? Hey, the 1976 Doctor Who annual, The Amazing World of Doctor Who is what it was called. It was like, a little annual with like stories and stuff. It features Doctor Who and Sarah Jane Smith and various enemies and such. They are putting out an audio version of it with stories read by Jeffrey Beavers, Louise Jameson, and Dan Starkey, which is kind of fun. And the artwork is like circa 1976, and it looks kind of neat. Anyway, that is coming out in April 20th, 2023, at least in the UK. Who knows if and when it'll come out here in North America. How about that? Also, audio delights from the BBC is the Nightmare Fair, the novelization, unabridged, coming out June 1st. No idea yet who's going to read that one. Maybe it'll be Colin Baker. Who knows?
That would be the most appropriate, wouldn't it? You'd think.
It would be, probably. And then the Silver Nemesis, because everyone's been chomping at the bit for Silver Nemesis novelization audio.
As a completionist, will you get this? And as a Silver Nemesis specifically completionist?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't have a lot of the audio stuff. I have all the missing episodes, the audiobook versions of those on digital. I don't even have them on discs. So, but I don't know if I'll get these. But that's fine. If you want to get them, they're there for you. July 6th, 2023 is the Silver Nemesis 7th Doctor audio novelization. No idea who's reading that. Maybe it will be Sylvester. Maybe Kevin Clark himself, the writer of the greatest 25th anniversary. Listen, it's not even the best 25th anniversary story in that season.
It will be read by the ghost of John Nathan Turner from the back of a limo. His penance in hell for what he did to us.
It'll be Dolores Gray. Dolores Gray reads. What is this?
To John Nathan Turner's ghost.
I don't know what I'd say. What is a Cybermen?
If it's her ghost, it would be Dolores Grave.
Oh, God. It's like a Simpsons opener for Halloween, the Halloween thing.
Oh,
Treehouse of Terror.
Treehouse of Horror, yeah. What else we got here in this?
Frank Skinner.
Frank Skinner, noted Doctor Who fan, and at least one time Radio Free Skaro listener. Yep. Frank Skinner
probably scared him away.
I know. He ran screaming. We pointed it out, and we bombarded his house with fan mail for 15 weeks straight. Thinking, Frank Skinner!
We did?
We read that you listened to... No, we didn't. But anyway, he was mentioned in Doctor Who magazine when he got the call to be in Doctor Who, that he was listening to Radio Free Skaro at the time. So I don't know if he's
That's
listening
weird,
to this.
Man.
It is kind of odd. But he was, of course, in Mummy and the Orient Express, and now he is in Big Finish Doctor Who with 9th Doctor Who Christopher Eccleston in Doctor Who The 9th Doctor Adventures Shades of Fear, which is coming out later on. You can pre-order it now from bigfinish.com. When's that coming out? Sometime in the near future.
If you read it like you just did, I'm definitely in.
Right? I know. Maybe Frank Skinner will read it that way too in the trailer for it. So get it now, man. That's coming. The 5th Doctor's The Edge of War is also coming out in 5th Doctor Adventures Conflicts of Interest.
I want to see Edge of War now, though. That sounds pretty rad.
Edge of War, I know. April 2023, and then Big Finish Torchwood Among Us parts 1, 2, and 3 are coming out May through July of 2023, featuring the return of Eve Miles as Gwen Cooper in Torchwood. She is the real heart of Torchwood. I mean, honestly, let's face it. No offense to the rest of
Kai Owen's back as well.
Oh, good. I like Reese. I like Reese as Kai Owen. That's pretty cool. So there you go. There's some Big Finish stuff to keep you sated until the holiday season. Also, one last thing before we jump into the time lash and then off to the commentary. On iPlayer, BBC iPlayer was announced this past weekend, and there it is, all there. The Sarah Jane Adventures is back on iPlayer, or on iPlayer for the first time. I don't know it was certainly gone for a while if it was ever on it at all, but it's almost all there now. The only story that isn't is The Curse of Clyde Langer from the last season. And before recording, we were trying to remember which that, because we saw these like literally 11 years ago when these things first aired.
And only once then, probably.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. This is the one that I think was fairly brave at the time because but I could be mistaken about how they. I think they might even dropped the N-bomb in this one. I don't remember. It was like it was a very brave episode, and I could be getting it wrong because I'm mangling up on my Sarah Jane Adventures episodes. We're basically just trying to figure out why this story and only this story is not on iPlayer to be able to watch. But yeah,
maybe it was just a very special episode of Blossom.
Was it that? Was it
what isn't really?
Yeah, I know. Earlier this week, actually, BritBox in North America, at the very least, had a technical snafu where the only Doctor Who episodes that were on BritBox for a couple days were The Dominators, which, as you recall, was the one story which disappeared for a few weeks, and The Talents of Wang Chiang. So, like, the two weird, controversial ones, one for weird reasons, one for racist reasons, were the only things available on BritBox for a couple days. So, I don't know if this is just like, oh, right, that's part of the story. Maybe we should put that on there. Is it that, or is it an actual reason for it?
Here's my amusing technical snafu story. I watched the first episode of Willow, which didn't load for some reason for the first little bit on Disney. Plus, what it did was it had, the little warning on the top. It said intense violence and coarse language. I'm like, are you sure about that, Disney? That doesn't sound like Willow the series to me. Yeah, not that I've seen it yet. And it turns out that they'd screwed up somehow and gotten the wrong tag on the show. But
really?
But at first I'm like, what bold new direction are you taking Willow in, Disney? What's going on here?
Wow. Reboot for the 21st century. Look out for it.
Then I watched the first episode, and it's not edgy at all. It's for the kiddies.
For the kids. Is it really for kids, Willow?
I mean, it's for the teens. It strikes me, a soon-to-be 52-year-old man, that it's for the teens. So it could be for anybody's age, just not for an old jerk like myself.
No, I suppose. I might get to it. I know, Chris, you've been sort of looking forward to it, but you've got to...
Yeah, don't let me spoil it for you. Maybe you'll like it. Who knows?
For Willow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get the impression I enjoyed the original movie way more than you two. So maybe. I am looking forward to the series.
And it is very much like that, except a little more spruced up and modern, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as with anything else that featured Val Kilmer in the past that has, kind of become, rebooted or continued or whatever, that doesn't have Val Kilmer. It's going to be a little weird without him. But
Joanne Wally, I was almost said Joanne Wally Kilmer. Joanne Wally, because they're divorced, is in it, though.
They've long since been
is she back in it? Oh, I didn't know that.
She is, totally.
Because they met on...
She's a guest star. She's not, I think she's a constant presence or anything, but she's definitely in the first one.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, Val Kilmer, has no voice. So it's kind of hard for him to do much acting.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Like, he was in Jane Silent Bob Reboot, but didn't speak. So, I mean...
And he had an amazing voice, so it's kind of a real tragedy, that is.
And you can't. It's kind of hard for any actor to kind of do a lot without speaking.
No.
Yeah. Interesting note about the original Willow movie. Jean Marsh shot her parts for that on the off days of her shooting it for Battlefield. Not at all. But I thought they very much looked alike.
No, because Willow came out before Battlefield.
I know. Shush. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. They just okay. Put it this way. Let's see if I can salvage this. What you see of Jean Marsh in Battlefield is just outtakes of Jean Marsh in Willow.
Why are you trying to salvage this? What's the point?
Except bootlegged on video. That's why it looks like it's on video, because it's shot up.
Sure, you bet.
Wasn't at all. All right. Let's dip back in time. We've wasted enough time on this podcast. This is what we do now, is just waste lots of time before we get to the main feature. But this time it's productive time wasting. It's the Time Lash. Our look back at what happened this week in Doctor Who history, December 4th through December 10th. Anytime before this. Speaking of Jean Marsh, I just want to point this out. Yeah. A photo call is held to introduce Jean Marsh as the new companion, Sarah Kingdom, on December 4th, 1965. What are the damn odds of that, I tell you? Wow. Jean Marsh. Yeah.
1 in 365, I'd say. Maybe 366, but
I guess so, yeah.
That's true. That's true. What else happened on this day? Anything that jumping out at you? We always seem to dip to. There's always drama to go with the TV movie, or
I
what
was
would
going to say,
become
yeah,
the TV movie.
'cause
Wow.
Phil Siegel still giving it his all in 1992.
December 4th, 1992. Yep. Shepard's he's moving it from trying to get negotiations between BBC Drama, Amblin Entertainment, BBC Enterprises, and Universal Television.
I got tired just reading that list of people. Like, can you imagine how many executives he had to listen to? How many dumb ideas kind of floated past him on the way to this thing getting made?
Like, it was easier to get the Camp David Accords done. That is massive.
So let's see, what was the cool thing at the time? Probably, let's say, gangster rap. Can the Doctor be a gangster rapper? Oh, no, keep it white. We just want him to be a gangster rapper.
You laugh. Wasn't there supposed to be ideas of a jive talking TARDIS console or something? Like that was one of the ideas that were mooted. Yeah,
the reason I got this idea is because when the Sony leak happened and all his emails went out, it was about the time the second or third, there was only 2 Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield movies, and they had lists of all these executives saying what he should be doing, and he was just as stupid as you'd think. There's one guy going, well, EDM is popular. Can't we have him into EDM? And I'm like, oh, God, just everything I expected to happen has happened in this email chain. What a bunch of morons.
I love it.
And so this would be, can you imagine 4 sets of those in 1992?
And everyone on everyone who is in that email chain winds up with an executive producer credit on the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, I'm sure they do. And the funny thing is, in No Way Home, Andrew Garfield is probably the best part of the whole movie.
Yeah, but that's like Paul McGann being the best part. That's a bad example because I love the TV movie. But it's kind of like taking someone out of time and putting them in a more self-aware age and going, actually, this is much better than we thought. Or, Hayden Christensen in the Obi-Wan show. I thought that was kind of...
Well, he doesn't have much to do in the Obi-Wan show, frankly, other than growl at him from behind the mask. But not to go on a No Way Home diatribe, but he is quite good in it.
No Way Home. Oh, they were back to Garfield again. I thought Hayden Christensen wasn't in that, was he?
No, that'd be interesting if he was.
Let's move on to December 5th. Oh, wow. Look at all this stuff that's happening, including the death of Mythmakers director Michael Leaston Smith. His one and only Doctor Who story was The Mythmakers, so which is sad.
We get to enjoy his work on a daily basis. No, we don't.
We don't. Mythmakers still lost to the ages, alas.
1967. Permission is sought from Terry Nation to develop a story featuring both the Daleks and the Cybermen. He declines.
That is like
fanboy dream crushed.
Fanfic right there. That is essentially wow.
And it finally happened in a corridor.
Yeah.
Although we had both of them appear in the 5 Doctors, as Warren alludes to, we didn't really get it until Doomsday. So
that's right. Mm-hmm. On purpose.
And people hate the fact that they were arguing in some cheap corridor. I love the fact that they were arguing in a cheap corridor.
It was on a bridge,
how else could this happen?
Yeah, it was on a bridge, I thought. But
or wherever it was. But, they're just sitting there sassing each other off. I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is how it was meant to be. Low rent.
Yeah. 1973, Robert Sloman is commissioned to write Planet of the Spiders as a replacement for the final game. The final game was the proposed final story of both the Third Doctor, I think, and indeed the Master. Mm-hmm. Definitely the first one, the final story of the Master. It only ever got sort of past storyline or idea stage. There was no actual final script. So when people say, "Oh wow, they just replaced the Master with Lupton in Planet of the Spiders," no, it wasn't the case at all. And it indeed happened several months after poor Roger Delgado's death. So there you go. That's what happened.
But yeah, the Master was meant to die, saving the Doctor. So
he was. Well. 1980, December 5th, Eric Sayward is commissioned to provide a storyline for Earthshock, which is being on the commentary on this episode. Can you believe it? Oh, the coincidences.
Not just that. In 1980, Christopher Priest is commissioned to provide a storyline for The Enemy Within, and Rod Beecham for Hebos. And the only reason I'm mentioning this is so I can say we can be Hebos for just one day.
See, I would mention it because for some people anyway, the subtitle for the TV movie is The Enemy Within. But
I suppose that's true,
your joke is good.
Yeah.
But I want to know what Hebos is actually about. That's what a weird name.
I don't know either. Rod Beecham. I know Rob Beecham wrote for Blake 7. That's the only reason that name sticks out to me. I don't know what else he did. He's probably a renowned science fiction author, as far as I know. But he wrote for Big 7, so obviously
I have no idea.
No,
and I'm okay with knowing renowned sci-fi authors. So
what about
not that that proves
Christopher
anything.
Priest? Isn't he a renowned sci-fi author?
No, Sherry Priest is a renowned sci-fi or steampunk author.
Oh, I didn't know that. The debut broadcast of the Vanquishers, episode 6 of Flux, the final episode of Flux, the overstuffed episode of Flux, aired on this day, December 5th, 2021, 1 year ago.
Yeah, seems a lot longer ago, doesn't it?
It does.
It really does.
In a lot of ways.
6 years prior to that, Hellbent went out. The conclusion of my heavens, just a titan of a 2-part story, and of course the last
weaker
Clara
of the two.
episode.
But I mean, how could it not be?
Is it weak or is it just completely different? You know?
Yeah, I mean it's yeah.
It's a Moffat series season finale. So
Yeah.
yes, of course, it's completely different.
It's also
from
it's a
part one.
2001 and 2010 comparison. One is 2001, and one is definitely pretty damn good, but it's 2010.
I was going to say, even though I'm not as big a fan as the second one as I am the first, Alien and Aliens. 2 entirely different movies, both set, the same characters and universe, but like the approaches are way different. I like
Aliens is
Alien
better.
myself.
It is.
I like Alien, but
I like Alien quite a bit, but Aliens is better.
Yeah, Aliens has more pew pew pew.
yeah, no, that's why.
There's more to it than just that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean you got the mechanized suit at the end and all that kind of stuff, and the cat.
I mean,
you got the
yeah.
cat.
My comparison to 2001 2010 is just because 2001 is so transcendent, as is Heaven Sent, and Hellbent is just a well-told story, and that's what 2010 is. A very well-told story that is never going to be as what 2001 is, and doesn't even try, because why would it bother?
Yeah, I
Same with
saw
Hellbent.
I saw 2010 once, and I never again.
It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's actually quite good. It's a good
I
adventure.
should probably give it
Very
another
enjoyable.
chance. Yeah, I should give it another chance. But
It's not this. I mean, it's a different movie,
Yeah.
but
so's
it's
the book.
good.
Like if you ever read the book 2010, it's same thing.
right.
What came first, the book or the movie?
Who the book did for 2010 for the movie
Because
is
2001,
For the movie.
the book and the movie were
The book was
Yes,
being
but-
made basically
but
as a
what happened
script.
was
Yeah.
Arthur C. Clarke wrote a short story or a novella called The Sentinel. That's what 2001 is kind of sort of based on. Then he rewrote it basically as, like you said, the movie was being made. He was also writing the book 2001 to go with it at the same
Yeah.
time.
Do you know what the working title for Earthshock was? Sentinel.
Ooh, it all comes around.
Madness. December 6th, awful day in history in this country. That is the anniversary of the Polytechnique massacre in Montreal on December 6th, 1989. When people say like, oh, it was the last broadcast of Doctor Who, classic Doctor Who was on that. It's the same day that some idiot in Montreal murdered 14 women at a university. So it's always, I mean, this is just a terrible day. I mean, if you're a Doctor Who fan, it's bad. If you're a fan of humanity, it's bad. So whenever like the notion of it like pops up, it's like, oh, here we go, this Sylvester McCoy speech again. Yeah, we're sort of mourning the university of this horrendous event that happened on the exact same day in history. So it's also the last episode of Colin Baker in 1986 because Trial of a Time Lord wrapped up, you know. But yeah, sad day.
I think we can move on to December 7th.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
please,
Let's
let's do.
celebrate the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. Well, you know, I
It's a
think
little cheerier.
I think didn't Margaret Thatcher resign on December 6, 1991 too? I want to think. I'm
I
not sure.
do not know.
Yeah.
I do not know. But Wendy Padbury was born on December 7th, so happy birthday to her.
Recent Twitter convert, Wendy Padbury. She only started up at around the same time as Elon Musk started about to buy. Well, what's going on?
Oh, great.
Are you saying Wendy Padbury is Elon Musk?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Well,
You heard it
listen.
here first, folks.
Yeah, you did hear first. I don't know.
Silver Nemesis, episode 3. broadcast.
We're never
going
going to skip this damn show.
We never are. Oh, good old yes. It's December 7th, 1988. Happy anniversary, Doctor Who. Fun. Silver Nemesis. What else?
It really pierced your soul, didn't it?
A little bit.
2007, we got the load-bearing Wenger becoming the head of drama for BBC Wales.
Complete throwaway line on my part.
yeah.
I think 10 years ago that lives on through you.
Yeah,
Chris.
about that. Yeah, the load-bearing Wenger in Beth Willis's boots.
Yeah.
I think that one was mine.
True.
I think that was
I don't
Steven's.
remember. Anyway, Piers Wenger agrees to become the new head of drama for BBC Wales and the executive producer of Doctor Who as of whatever series that is. I'm not saying season 31 other than
Absolutely not.
Replacing Julie Gardner. Julie Gardner will, of course, decide to go off with Jane Tranter and form a massive production company that would eventually make Doctor Who 15 years later. So, did she really leave? I don't think so. Moving on, December 8th. What's happening to... death of Michael Cray is very sad. He just
Yep.
did he last week just celebrate his... we just talked about his birthday, because I know Annika Wills was talking about on Twitter that he would have been 80 on last
Born
week. or
November
some point.
29th, so yeah.
There it is, yeah. So that's very sad. 2003, December 8th, Russell T. Davies circulates a 15-page pitch document which outlines his plans for the first series.
For series 1, not season 27.
Not season 27.
Shannon Sullivan, I admire your dedication to this, but I curse it as well.
Yeah, pitch document, pitch page. So this is so they've announced it. Obviously, they've announced it back on September 26th. So now he's just like saying, "Here's what it's about" and stuff, and outlining his plans and stuff. That's got to be that. I think that's probably was posted in the Writer's Tale. I think that pitch document or bits of it, because I remember seeing something about that, but I could be wrong. Anyway, anything else jump out at you on December 9th?
2012.
All right, what happened then, Warren?
Recording for the Bells of St. John takes place in Tokyo, Japan. What?
Plate shots. Yeah.
I
Plate
would assume
shots.
that would be what it would have to be, but that's
They must
a bit of a
have-
stretch.
They didn't. I think they just sort of hired a company, a freelancer.
I would
to
assume
say-
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you'd get stock stuff. One of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't-
Something along that line, yeah.
yeah. I don't know if you would say December 8th, 2012, negotiations for stock footage for.
Well, why not, Stephen? If you were doing this thing, you almost certainly would have that in here.
Maybe. I don't know. You know what? I should say this. 42 to Doomsday has a good podcast on right now about this massive archive. I'm only like 12 minutes into this podcast, and it might get worse and more tragic. But this massive hoarder in Australia died recently, and he was he was a hoarder, and he had like a house full of stuff, but he was chronicling literally everything he did every single day of his life for about 35 to 40 years, and was like written down in a journal. Here's what I had to eat today. Here's where I went. Here's what I watched. Here's what I did. 40 years of his life. And I'm thinking this is exactly what's like. But on December 8th, 2012, finalized the use of 16 seconds of stock footage of Tokyo for the Bells of St. John. That's probably what he would have done.
Admit
Anyway,
it, you're fascinated by this. Absolutely fascinated.
I know. Well, the sad thing is I think that it's quite possible they had to sort of junk a whole bunch of stuff because it was a fire hazard. This person was taping TV into from the early 70s onwards, and so
I see where
it's
you're going.
entirely possible they could have been missing Doctor Who that was just junked literally a month ago. So happy days, everyone! Happy days.
That would explain Ian Levine's latest meltdown.
Yeah, Twitter. He was
His missing
upset.
episode sense was tingling.
I know, because the Time Meddler's coming out on the Blu-ray set. Some people already have it, and so he was wanting to gatekeep anyone to watch it. He's like, "No, someone is mean to me. I'm going to since I personally 100% found the Time Meddler in Nigeria in 1984 all by myself. No one else should watch it unless I decree it possible." Yeah,
It's not how it works.
not quite how it works. No unwanted opinions, please. Let's go to
He's been a pretty vocal. He's been pretty vocal of late, of just pimping out the Blu-ray line, and recommending people buy it and support it and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
so, I mean,
because
that's good.
Well, I suppose, but the Time Meddler is on that set, and that's the one.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
Is Philip Morris going to finally come out of his bunker and sort of say, "Hey, everyone, buy the season 5 Blu-ray set"? Because I found some of those episodes. I found 10 of them, but then I lost one. But you can watch the other 9 on here. Buy it.
Is he going to do that in exactly that tone of voice?
It's just that lose that
just
Liverpudlian
sort of kind
accent.
of like giving up as he goes.
Yeah, gotta buy it. Happy birthday, December 9th, 20. We're on the 20th December 9th. December 9th. Happy birthday, Waris Hussein, director of the very first story in Doctor Who history, and of course Marco Polo as well. Yay, Waris Hussein! What a delightful gent! What a landmark director in Doctor Who history. Also, equally prestigious. Happy birthday, Eric Sayward, born the same day 6 years later. Opinions differ on Eric Sayward's contribution to Doctor Who.
Yeah. You're talking about the evolution of the logo earlier in 1966. Bernard Lodge does a new Doctor Who title sequence.
Wow, records
which
it.
Was that was from what, Macro Terror onward?
You know what? I always get confused because I know they changed the music before they changed the logo, or the other way around. They changed the logo, so yeah, Macro Terror was the first, and then the music changed for like episode 2 of the Faceless Ones. Because why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you wait for a new season, a new story?
Same as what is it? Episode 5 of in Australia where they put the Derbyshire.
Oh yeah, Frontier in Space. Yeah,
Frontier in Space, episode 5 or whatever it was. Yeah,
it was 2 and 5, I think.
I love how this stuff drives us crazy, and meanwhile, some guy who's probably responsible for it in the booth at the time, like it's just like, whatever. This is what I got lying around.
Yeah, well, it's funny that, when they had a new Doctor, they didn't do it then. They just thought, okay, it looks like he's sticking around. Let's make a new title sequence. It's like, oh, wow, was it that up in the air that you we're going to make one until I prove my worth? Patrick Troughton?
Okay, so in 1982, I want to know what happened, because I don't know what happened. Maybe you do, Stephen, because, this is long enough ago. I'm sure maybe the information's out there.
Right.
1982, although he has not signed a contract, Tom Baker indicates that he is agreeable to appearing in the 5 Doctors.
I think basically Terrence Dix sent him a text message, because they had those in 1982. And
actually, as we record this, today is the 30th anniversary of the first text message.
Oh, there you go. This is 40 years ago, so it's 10 years before the first possible text message. But I think it basically say, "Hey, Tom Baker, do you want to show up?" And it's just, yeah, sure. It's kind of like, "Hey, Tom Baker, do you want work? Do you want to work?" Sure.
And then the lawyer says, "Here's how much he costs," and they go,
yeah.
Tom, to be fair, Tom Baker was always a little, flighty. Is that the right word? Indecisive.
And at the time, he was a little less in love with Doctor Who than he is now.
Yeah, he's fresh out of it,
Yeah, exactly.
That was sort of the main reason. It's not like he read the script and says, "Oh, no, this is terrible. I'm not going to be..." The idea of him being with other doctors is just like, I just feel like, just invite all the ex-wives back, the ex-husbands, the ex-spouses back, thinking, "Oh, we're all going to be there, are we? The 4 failures in the current one. Oh, I don't need a part of that. I'm out. I'm going to be Sherlock Holmes instead." And so that's what he did. I think it's around the same time. I think he was Sherlock Holmes. Was it? That's very close though. Like this is like
his Doctor does seem like he would be an iconoclast and not want to be around other doctors to the point where, as the curator, he isn't actually the 4th Doctor. So even though he's doing everything the 4th Doctor does.
I mean, I'm just looking at the timeline of this. Like, this is December of 82, and they're saying he hasn't signed a contract, but he says he's agreeable to do it. They shoot 5 Doctors in March of 1983. So in between now and then, early March, 3 months, Tom Baker drops out. But because Terrence Dix is a damn pro, just like, okay, we'll just shift gears, do this and that, and just like effortlessly includes like bits of Shada in there, and like you barely notice that Tom Baker isn't in the 5 Doctors.
We don't know how effortless it was. I'm sure he had a lot of late nights and probably several packs of cigarettes.
That's true. As was the style at the time.
As was the style at the time, yes.
Yeah. So, Who knows? Anything else on December 9th, or do you want to move to the? That's what he got.
2018.
All right.
Jodie Whittaker's first series wraps up with the Battle of Ranskarav Kolos.
The legendary, the first draft and only first draft, as admitted by Chris Chibnall himself. Yeah.
And I don't hate or love the episode, but that title gets on my nerves. I don't know. I couldn't tell you why. Probably because it's such a long, stupid name.
It makes no sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's that. Yeah.
There's no emotional hook to Ranskor Av Kolos. And
no.
In thinking about it, I don't remember what Ranskor Av Kolos is. Is it a planet? I
think it's a planet, but you're right. That just illustrates the point. I can't remember either.
Yeah. But it's not like the Reboss operation or the Talons of Weng Chiang or
the androids of Terra. What are they? They're androids on Terra.
Who is Kroll, and why should we worry about the power of him? That sort of thing. It doesn't, no titles really make sense unless it's like...
But this is a title that doesn't make sense, and then on top of that, it's a bunch of words that don't make sense.
That's true, and you can't think of it, yeah,
or less sense than usual.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's move on to the last day for this week in the Time Lash, December 10th. Happy birthday, Anthony Coburn, who wrote a good chunk of the first episode ever, I think, or was that? Yeah, wrote the first story, didn't he? Yeah, Anthony Coburn. I've literally blanked on who wrote the first story. I just thought it was an immaculate conception that those first 4 episodes just sort of came to be, were handed down on tablets, and presented to Waris Hussein and Verity Lambert, and they made a Doctor Who episode. But no, Anthony Coburn, the first Doctor Who writer, born December 10th, 1927.
I'm kind of enjoying this Cecil B. DeMille epic you concocted, though.
Which didn't that come out in 1927? The first version of
around there, yeah. I think the silent one, yeah, maybe.
How about that? What else we got? Anything else jump out at you about December 10th at all?
Yeah, season 17 is officially considered to have ended with the Horns of Naimon.
Yeah,
because they're not going to remount Studio Days of Shada.
No, they aren't. I'm watching episode 6 of Shada tonight as we record this, and yeah, they basically the strike ended December 1st, but then all the stupid BBC Christmas variety hours took precedence for studio time, and so they says, yeah, we're just not gonna do Doctor Who anymore. So sorry, actually, no, we're not going to apologize.
Wow.
So they stopped it. Well,
I'd like to throw in 2003 because that's Stephen Moffat's first crack at New Who, which then led to him eventually becoming the showrunner.
That's right.
Hugo Award-winning episodes, The Empty Child, The Doctor Dances. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever. Everyone wins Hugos.
This is true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You've
true.
You've got a couple. Yep.
That's true.
More than a couple.
And then later on, 2008, Stephen Moffat reveals to Russell T. Davis that Matt Smith has been cast as the 11th Doctor.
Wow. Those two are tight,
I mean, yeah, they worked together for, years on the show.
I suppose, but...
and then, as Moffat is the incoming showrunner, to RTD is the outgoing showrunner. I'm sure it's, a nice courtesy.
Yeah. And I don't know where they were in the making of the show at this point, actually. I should have been looking more closely at the Time Lash, but were they done shooting Doctor Who in 2000? No, they were shooting in 2009 at some point, I think.
Yeah.
So they weren't wrapped up quite yet with Doctor Who. But it was less than a month before Matt Smith's public unveiling on January 3rd, 2009. I still remember the day when his Doctor Who Confidential special went out, so... The 10 Doctors. Oh, wait, no. The 11 Doctors.
And we said, who is this young punk?
I know.
This young punk who just turned 40.
40 years old.
And to this day, still my favorite modern Doctor.
It's a good Doctor. It's a good Doctor Who, Matt Smith is.
Great Doctor.
Yep, pretty great.
We watched Day of the Doctor for Doctor Who Day.
Oh, nice.
Which, you can never go wrong with that. And
nope,
no, you cannot.
I'd forgotten how much I miss Matt Smith.
Oh.
Nothing against Capaldi or Whittaker, but...
no, I know.
Matt Smith, so good.
I know. It's a good Doctor. He's a good Doctor Who. Remember when they thought that the show would fail after David Tennant, and then here comes Matt Smith, this unknown young
Doctor Who fans have thought the show would fail every second of every day.
That's true.
So what difference does it make?
Yeah.
That's very true.
Well, when you have a fantastic writer like Stephen Moffat and a fantastic start like the 11th Hour, I mean, you know things are safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was very reassuring. Because like every other fan, I also think it's going to fail every second of every day. I'm throwing criticism at the mirror here. So,
Hey, you're talking to the guy who thought they brought back RTD to kill the show. So I mean,
yeah, there you go. Any confessions here, Stephen? Come on, lay it all on the line.
Oh, jeez. Any confessions about things that I thought about Doctor Who? Oh,
Of your Doctor Who pessimism. There we go.
Oh, my
Doctor.
am I ever pessimistic about Doctor Who?
I don't think you have.
You must have been somewhere along the way.
I don't know. I feel like, man, I don't know. I don't know about pessimistic. Maybe just sort of dismissive, maybe, if anything.
Yeah,
I'm an eternal optimist when it comes to Doctor Who.
I know you are.
No, there's going to be some pessimism, like, I don't know, something about Stephen Thompson or
you know what?
Brendan Shepard or
Brendan. Honestly, the Last of the Time Lords was the first time, and I sort of felt like,
there we go.
Oh, I don't know about this Doctor Who show anymore. I don't know. I'm gonna go 9 months, and that was the last show that I get to watch. Oh, I don't like this at all. Why don't we cover
fair.
Battlestar Galactica or Sliders or something like that? This is bad.
Sliders. Come on, man. There's no need for rash decisions.
Oh, well. It's a dark time in 2007, all right? I was in a very weird place, so... Anyway, that's it. That's our weekly transgressions and digressions in the Time Lash, everyone. After the short break, it's back to commentary time. Hope you can watch some Doctor Who along with us and laugh and cry and sing. It's Earthshock Part 3.
Are the microphones wired in?
All around the condenser, most merciful. We're looking forward to excellent duodecaphonic sound.
This is the moment when I get a real feeling of job satisfaction.
Welcome back, folks. It's part 3 of our classic series commentary of the Doctor Who story, Earthshock, from 1982. The rock and roll years. Not really. I assume you have your legally purchased Umatic 3/4-inch tapes and 2-inch original masters. If you have those kicking around, that'd be great. Good. Here we go, folks. It's time to watch some Earthshock Part 3 in 3, 2, 1, play. So Doctor Who is about to be murdered point blank by an angry crew member for the sake of a cliffhanger.
which we've never seen before and we'll never see again.
Yep, never again will they end an episode over dramatically. Love these titles. Got tired of them at the end, I have to say, and I was eager to see the Dominic Glynn music and eventually the McCoy intro, but now that I look back at them, no, I love this. Although I feel the dissolve is kind of, the one thing the McCoy one did is it's sort of like it ended on a bang, whereas this one's just sort of like, there you go, show's begun.
You can tell it's a good story because we're not talking about videotapes yet.
Yeah, we'll get there. Like the original, I remember Beryl Reid sitting there in the chair in the raw studio footage, and Peter Grimwade sort of pops by and says, "Oh, how are you doing, my darling?" And says, "Oh, I'm having a wretched time. Oh, no." And she has to he stops and listens to her complain for about 4.5 minutes about nothing.
Sounds like an actor to me, making drama where there isn't any.
Yeah.
Not that there isn't plenty of drama in this actual story, but...
No.
But theater kids got a theater kid, no matter how old they are.
They really are actors, aren't they? Oh, you actors. What's the delay? So see the shots behind there on the CSO? That's done live. That's cued in live. Like this is one of the things I learned in watching the raw studio footage is most of those shots are done as live.
I was just kind of hoping it was like the bit they'd carved out of this set and they put the other set in there and they're just kind of walking through as if it's on screen, which you could do. Like, it wouldn't be that difficult to do.
That would be funny.
I say that I'm not a production designer. I have no idea how difficult it is.
It's funny that Vance and Carson are the two crew members that nearly turned out to be the replacements of Dukes of Hazzard around the same time. Coin, Vance. Coincidence?
Yes, absolutely.
No, not at all.
Yes. Yes.
I like that they have revenge on their mind. This could be Revenge of the Cybermen, really, when you think about it.
In the 2014 Doctor Who magazine poll, the last big poll they had. Wow, it's 8 years.
8 years.
Earthshock was number 24.
24. That's up there.
Not bad.
There's a lot of good stories.
2 of the Cybermen and 5 Doctors.
I've had a hankering to watch 5 Doctors for the last couple of days. I haven't gotten around to it.
Me too.
Well, David Banks, Cyberman here. David Banks, Cyberman there. There's your tie-in. You can go do that.
I don't really need a tie-in, actually. I could just go watch things because I want to.
I need to find the, because when I was a kid, 14, 15, I made a Cyberman costume out of a raincoat, a rain suit, painted silver, boots, and then the helmet and chest unit were made out of tin foil. And if I may say so, for a 15-year-old making stuff out of tin foil and paint, it was kind of crap, but it looked pretty good in my
Pictures
eyes.
or didn't happen?
Oh, I will. I'll find it. It's somewhere in a book. Got to scan it. Got to find out how to work the scanner. All this live. Cue it in with the BBC Micro, whatever they're using at the time.
Acorn, baby. Acorn all the way.
What is an Acorn? What
Class.
is that? Is it a type of computer? Is it a system? What's going on?
No, it's a type of computer. I could be getting this wrong. Please correct me, Brits, because I probably am. But it was the BBC decided to roll out, presumably in partnership with somebody, a computer everybody could use, and that was the Acorn.
Oh,
Was that the one Alan Sugar did, or did he do something else?
No, maybe. No. Well, the Sinclair is the Timex Sinclair. I don't know. Maybe. Well, I guess I'm going back to Wikipedia.
Amstrad.
starring Jimon Hunsu and Anthony Hopkins, directed by Steven Spielberg.
Yes, clearly.
It's amazing the hold that Tomb of the Cybermen has over Doctor Who history. You can't make a cyber story anymore without a scene of them bursting out of things. They did it in The Invasion.
Because it looks so cool.
Wheel in Space, yep. They do it in this.
There we go.
There it is.
It was called the BBC Micro. There was a series of different ones. The Acorn was one of them, but it was
Right.
built by Acorn Computers in the 80s for the BBC Computer Literacy Project.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
I don't romanticize
Operating system, Acorn MOS. I go on about so much, I kind of want to see if I can get one.
I think you should, honestly. I mean,
Just to display.
yeah, like like you could make that. You could make those graphics. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, I'd never hook it up. I mean, I've already got a
Yeah.
color computer from Radio Shack that I can't hook up to anything. So, well, I'm going to go on eBay and I'm going to dissuade myself of this because it's probably like $800 or something.
why would it be? It doesn't even work anymore unless it does.
Because it doesn't matter. I've looked up old Apple IIs and they don't, but some of them work, but they're about that price.
See, I own vintage drums. I have 2 vintage drum sets, and I appreciate them because they're older and thus better. So I can
You can
understand.
get the ROMs for $90, so that's not looking too good.
No. Cybermen, love him. I love them too.
Oh, here we go.
This is it. Oh no, not yet.
$600 for a BBC Acorn.
Oh, that's nothing. Probably.
So I could get that and never use it, or with obviously a British plug too, or I could get a PlayStation 5.
Get a PS5. Get a PS5.
Well, the other thing is, it's probably easier to get an Acorn, frankly.
You should do a race. You should say, let's order one of these and then order an Acorn and see which comes first.
What am I, a gazillionaire? What am I, Elon Musk?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a jerk, so I'm not Elon Musk. But I can't get both.
No, I guess not. I like that. I have to lose my bonus and I have to pay a fine. Look at the money it's going to cost me. This is exactly the type of resistance you would find in a situation like this. Davison is fabulous. He's great.
I can't argue with that.
I could see why he became my favorite. I mean, they all became my favorite Doctor, but I can see why he instantly became my favorite Doctor. You tell him, Beryl Reid. Meanwhile, in the TARDIS, nothing's happening. That's why I want to go along. I like obviously in Castrovalva they jettisoned the TARDIS wardrobe because they have to borrow clothes from one another, you know?
They sure really leaned into that.
like Tegan says, "Oh, we only have one. This is why I haven't changed my clothes in a year. It's because we have no other clothes. Give me your overalls." I smell so bad.
We jettisoned the shower too. I'm so ashamed. Just land us in a waterfall, please. I'm begging you.
Mind you, the orange spacesuit, which kicks around in modern Doctor Who for like the past 15 years.
Yeah, I hope they hose that thing down in between doctors, because man,
a little bit.
I think I tried to make graphics like this when I was a kid on my Tandy color computer.
Yeah,
because it wasn't that tough to do. Like that's just a still screen, right? So with a couple different colors.
Mm-hmm. It's a very William Hartnell thing to have his hands in focus, because I don't give a I nearly swore I don't give a crap what Herr Heydrich's doing there. I'm just watching what Davison is doing because he's putting his fingers together, tenting his fingers. There's a lot of frenetic energy. I forget how energetic Davison's Doctor is.
Mm-hmm.
Being so beige as he is, apparently. Uh-oh. It's Master Control.
CRT? Yeah, you know me.
Yeah. I like that you could barely see that screen because of the reflection.
Oh, yeah. That's Master Control, all right.
Yeah.
That's a way better console than we had.
Yeah, it is.
Doesn't have copies of Maxim that every grungy Master Control operator would thumb through already.
What kind of a freighter?
Maxim still exist?
That I don't know. I'm just curious about like why this freighter is so heavily armed. They got guns. They must expect a lot of piracy or something like that.
They never say what they're hauling. I'm going to say they're like a 1-800-GOT-JUNK freighter.
It's all the recycling that you think is being recycled. They're just sending it off to some landfill.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we bloody go. Look at them.
Look at the purposeful striding of these boys. Just
right?
Nice.
8 of them.
I remember
some great lighting here too.
Yeah.
Remember as a kid taking a record out of the library with Doctor Who music and playing the Cybermen march over and over and over.
Oh, really? Sweet.
Yeah. But you cut off the screen into See No More.
Sleep No More?
Sleep No More.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Sleep No More, pardon me.
I was going to say, what the hell are you talking about? Here we go.
I don't even know.
Oh, my God, this moment. Amazing that this isn't a cliffhanger. Amazing that this isn't a cliffhanger. Oh, my God, it's so good.
We will destroy you, IKEA.
Move this box. Sir, we are not a war machine. You will move this box. Some good old point blank fighting. Yeah, there you
go. just popping dudes with your cyber gun.
Just like they're like 4 feet away. I mean,
the thing is though, if you're a unstoppable robot, why not?
Yeah,
like, you're gonna go what's most accurate. That'd be point blank, wouldn't it? So
yeah, that's true. Well, they just keep walking.
They're not to show off.
Yeah, I love the moon boots. Love the moon boots. Are those back in? They should be back in because they're perfect. Moon boots are.
No, I don't think so.
Well, we're missing something, folks. Fashion designers of the world. You went with Uggs. You should have gone with moon boots.
I'm pretty sure moon boots were probably made of something hazardous and somehow racist. I don't know.
Somehow,
Like,
somehow
take your
asbestos. Yeah.
grab bag of problematic 70s stuff. It's in there somewhere.
He's got like a space Uzi or something like that.
He's exactly the kind of guy who's like, yeah, this gun makes me feel like a man because nothing else does.
This is a good shot. Look at that crane shot.
There's a bunch of that. Oh, they killed Turlo ahead of time.
They did.
Timey-wimey.
Malcolm Clark's music is superb. That's a good review.
The music is superb.
Yes. What is this jazz of which you speak, leader?
I've never understood the people who are like, yeah, I completely trust these robots to do what I want. Like, come on, guy. Look at these dudes. They're going to jerk you around.
How many movies have you seen?
Now, I could be way out of left field here, but is that a Star Wars gun or a gun that was on Doctor Who and they went to Star Wars and went back? It looks sort of that ilk.
Wait, no. What you're struggling to work around, Warren, is that it looks too good to be in Doctor Who, and
okay,
it does.
thank you. That's
It does.
accurate.
Yeah. Who did they buy that from? I like guns that light up. And it was good.
Slaughter is pointless. Meanwhile, 12-year-old Steven's like, no, it isn't.
Yeah, like it's got some heft to it. That gun. You're right. It's a hero gun. I mean, hell, there's a famous publicity photo of Davison himself brandishing it, which wound up as the Target novelization cover.
Mm-hmm, I remember that. Yeah, that's a badass looking weapon.
That's a chunky gun. Yeah.
But all these guns, like cyber guns, are cool too.
Yeah. They kept that design for 2 more episodes too. They kept changing the boots though.
A lot of that is down to the awesome sound the cyber guns make, though.
Yeah.
Braggart.
Uh-oh.
That's quick thinking on Adric's part, though.
Yeah. Maybe do it a little more subtly than that, but that's it. That's it for the badge.
This guy looks like he's going to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And metaphorically, he does later anyway, so.
Boom. There's the shot. Oh, no, wait. Where's the famous shot where the Doctor never fires guns? Check out his badge.
The one on the Target cover?
Yeah, right there.
Well, he technically didn't fire a gun there.
Nope, but he's pointing it.
Beryl's having none of it. She's got her, like... Remember when you were kids, you could buy either the Han Solo gun or the Stormtrooper gun? She's got the Stormtrooper gun. The Han Solo gun the other guy has.
That's a classic gun, the Han Solo
I just remember a stink of ozone that used to come off those things. I'm sure I've probably got some sort of 70s disease from that gun.
Oh, probably. And your Popeye candy cigarettes, too, I'll bet.
I was
They
never
still
a
sell
fan of
those.
Yeah. They're called candy
They
cigarettes.
got
Yeah, they're not called cigarettes anymore. No.
Yeah, they're still candy
Of course
sticks.
not.
Sugar sticks. Warnings on them for sugar. Some good lighting.
I might be screwing up my Japanese stars, but there's this guy, Beat Takeshi, who had a birthday, and he's known for smoking. And so they had this chorus of children, and they put like marker of like mustache and beard on their face and had them smoke candy cigarettes as they sang to him. And it's weird because he's like clearly touched, but it's also the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen.
Right. What year is this from? And how
Oh, it's pretty recent. Like, it's,
really? Oh,
I'd have to
wow.
look. Maybe not. Maybe it's. I'd have to look it up.
What's recent to people? Like, it's 1987.
Yeah,
what? I mean,
It could be the
Yeah.
90s. Like, I could be talking out of my butt here.
yeah. Wow. Just should have shot him. So, what's going on then? Oh no, solar rugby. I love how they're just chatting. They're just chatting. Cybermen are just chatting. I love it. I wonder who directed them. Like, what do they say? I don't know. Pretend like you're talking about stuff. You're robots essentially, but you're talking about I don't know. The match. Oh, that's a big gun. Look at that. Look at the size of that thing, Doctor. Like they're even waving. I don't know what they're talking about. That's a still image right there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Antimatter. Do we have any ships in this time period that are powered by antimatter? I don't think so.
They're powered by whatever you got it on hand at the time.
That's true. Random junk.
Are you talking
Whimsy. That's what they're
Yeah.
powered by.
Are you talking like in reality?
Yeah, in reality, yeah.
I don't think we do.
We don't have antimatter drives yet. What is wrong with this species, honestly? Just ask Siri next time, Doc. I mean, like he says an almost right. Also, annoyed Davison Doctor explaining the plot to Adric is some of my favorite Doctor bits, because he often has to do it, even though he's supposedly the smartest person in the room is Adric, based on his damn badge, which you will note he no longer has. I think that was like take 4 or 5 of that. What I love watching in the, they're still talking, the studio footage is that because I've watched the story so much, I can instantly tell when they're doing a take that won't be used. So I think, oh, they're going to screw up sometime soon. There it is. Get him talking about the latest tackle. Ah, one day to retirement.
Cybermen were tyranny.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I mean,
So that's the Danny Glover of Cybermen, is it?
yeah. I mean, we see Tegan shooting a rifle in the Doctor Who finale teaser, which was shown after Eve of the Daleks, the Sea Devil thing, and we think, oh wow, what's she doing? Oh right, she fires guns all the time. Look at her. First, I'm going to kill you. Then I'm going to take your gun and kill others. There is some rented scenery in the background there. Some of those often to. Oh, this is a great shot. Oh my
so
word!
Cool. That is so cool.
What a great shot. From the after effect as well. Like, oh, that's just like Han Solo frozen in carbonite. So George Lucas ripped this off now.
I'm not sure if that's the case since that came out in 1980.
No, Return of the Jedi I'm talking about. Like in, oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
but he's in carbonite in Empire.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to still say he ripped it off.
Why am I pedanting you about this?
Of course. Doctor Who is the best. Everything else sucks. The end.
I mean, I can't argue with that.
Uh-huh. He's got no one to discuss rugby with, this poor guy. Just sitting in the background. Just press buttons. This one's a little short to be a Cyberman. Demolitions unit. Oh! The door's made of wood. I think this is the 4th or 5th take that they use of this shot, I think. This is a big, long, singular shot here. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, David. Here we go. Infamous line. Here. There are so many cliffhanger moments in this episode.
He pans up, but he certainly gets into that conversation crotch first.
Yeah.
Just gonna strides on
oh
in.
yeah, oh yeah. Leads with the power zone. Like that's all one continuous shot. 8 Cybermen come in, take up
Take
shot.
that, Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, talk to one person, boom, 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 over there, shoot a guy, back and forth, one shot. Impressive.
Well, River Song could do it. Why can't you, Nissa? Come on.
Yeah.
Duh.
Thank God the women have something to do in 1980s Doctor Who. Stand around and talk about what the men are doing.
They're Bechteling all over the place here. or anti-Bechtel, I guess.
Yep, to feminism in Doctor Who.
Well, it is up from the time monster, which is a pretty low bar to clear. That's
true.
bar might actually be in the molten core of the earth, but the mouths creep me out.
I know. I remember always thinking that was like a mistake, but it was 100%
Yeah, so did I.
intentional.
Yeah, look at these boys.
Honestly, like this, just a 10-hour loop of Cybermen busted out of things.
It's just rad as hell. Like
It's so-
whatever you want to say about the Daleks, they can't do this.
They can't. They try to. They do it a couple of, like Destiny of the Daleks, they burst through a wall. But then what are you trying to be, Cybermen?
It doesn't work the same way. It's
No.
just not the same.
You punch through a wall, you kick it, you walk out, you got plastic on you. Like you just come from Amazon shipping and stuff. And look at this
Maybe they
is
did.
so
Maybe that's what
great.
this ship is.
Look at this scene. This is so good.
This is the guy calling me saying, "Hey, can you buzz me in, please? I can't
Yeah.
get in your apartment."
And of course, designed to be evocative of Tomb of the Cybermen, which
Yeah.
nobody could watch at this point.
Nope. Nobody anywhere. But like I was saying before, the mythology of Tomb of the Cybermen looms large. It's memories of people who watched it in 1967.
Yeah.
Awake. Oh my God. What
By
Early
which you mean
using it
Ian
as a
Levine,
blaze.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
This
Oh,
is
it's good
great.
times.
Oh my word.
And that's just quick enough that you don't even think the fact that it's mirror trickery.
Yeah. It could just be hidden, in his head. Thinking, there's Cybermen everywhere. That's basically a Dr. POV shot there. Sorry, we stepped over you there, Chris. What were you saying about Tomb of the Cybermen?
Oh, you were saying how, relying on the memories of people who saw it, by which you mean Ian Levine.
That's right. One person. Yeah, I know. Ian Levine did a poll with himself and decided that Tomb of the Cybermen is the most fondly remembered Doctor Who story of all time.
So he was sending a series of letters to Eric Sayward, who hadn't told him yet to just saw it off.
Yep.
So that's why this is influence. I'm just making that up. That's my own
No,
canon.
no, actually, Warren, I think you pretty much described exactly what happened. But
That would surprise me.
yeah, this is the early days of that.
Yeah. Thankfully, it never got out of hand. Not at all.
Nope, sure didn't. Let's all send an SOS that it never does.
It's kind of like Jaws in a way. Jaws is great, but it basically created the era of the blockbuster and kind of turned it away from filmmaking being an art form and a purely money making venture. And but we remember how great Jaws was, just like we remember how great Earthshock was. So.
You have rose-colored glasses when it comes to that.
Well, you know what I mean. Like the blockbuster was created, and all of a sudden, wow, we got to make bigger blockbusters, and to hell with you, we're gonna make different kind of films
But
now. And
to be continued in episode 4, but there's more nuance to that than you're speaking of. Anyway,
oh well, a conversation to be had over action in episode 4 of Earthshock to be had here on Ready Free Skaro. Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. Until next time, I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.
You've been listening to Radio Free Skaro. Find us online at radiofreeskaro.com, follow us on Twitter and Tumblr at Radio Free Skaro, subscribe to us on iTunes, and donate to the show at patreon.com/Radio Free Skaro. Thank you.